Hello and welcome back to the Metaverse Marketer YouTube channel. Today we're going to be going over how you can edit images on your Shopify store. So let's hop into our backend here, and when I first land on my website, it's going to take me into this section here. What I want to do is I want to go to Online Store, right underneath the Sales Channels option, and then I'm going to click on Customize underneath my current theme. That is going to take me into my theme customizer, where I have the option to make some changes to my images. Now, it's important to note, not all of your images are going to be able to be adjusted the same way. So it's important to take a step back before you even update an image or create a background image and think about where it's going to go, what purpose it's going to serve, and what style of image is best going to fit that section, right? So the image I'm going to edit right now is the background image on the image banner. So I'm going to go into my left corner here and edit image banner. So I'm going to click on that, and you're going to notice I have my image banner right over here in my right-hand corner. This is kind of the format for which most Shopify stores are going to be editable. So you're going to have the actual editing section over here in the left where everything is organized, and then you're going to have the changes that you can make over here in your right. So let's say I just want to change this background image. I'm not in love with this Bitcoin image, so I'm going to hit change. And then I have the option to either change, remove, or connect a dynamic source. For today, we're just going to focus on either removing or changing. Connecting dynamic sources we'll explain in another video. So I want to change this image. If I remove it, then I'm just going to have a filler image that Shopify puts in for me. If I hit select image again, I can look through all of the content that's already been uploaded to my site, right? Okay, so let's say I don't have an image yet and I want to use a free image, maybe something that I know isn't going to come back and haunt me for legal reasons, right? We don't want somebody coming back and saying, hey, you stole my image. So over here in the corner, we have the option to select from a bunch of free images that Shopify gives us without any sort of copyright content, any sort of legal disclaimers. We can use these for free. However, I don't recommend this because every Shopify store that has these free images are going to be using or going to show up with that same view, and people are going to notice that very quickly. They're going to notice when your store is being built with stock photos as opposed to maybe an image you took yourself. I always recommend getting some professional images done of your products if that's what you're looking for, or if you haven't taken the time to customize it. So here's where I'm actually going to take a second, and I always hop off of Shopify when I want to create my own background image, and I go into Canva. There will be a link in the description that you can use to sign up for Canva, and there are a bunch of really, really good editing tools that you can use to create a hero section. So what did I do? I went to Canva and I went to templates, and then in the template section, I'm going to create my own image. Now let's talk a little bit about image dimensions. So that's number 2 for today, is what image dimensions are going to work best for your website. Now that we have a template that we know we can use, I need to make sure that I'm going to use the right dimensions for my store. So if I were to make a image right here that is that I just took from my phone, chances are it's not going to be in the right image dimensions. So this dimension right here is about 16 by 9, or it's a landscape perspective, meaning that it's going to be rather short but really wide, right? So that can cover the entire background here. So I want to create a 16 by 9 template to put right there in that section. So I'm going to look for, in my filters here, I'm going to look for presentations, or the 16 by 9 aspect ratio, right? And I'm going to click on that. Now that's going to give me a lot of really, really good items that I can use as templates to create my own Bitcoin hero section, right? So these are actually built for PowerPoint, but I find them to be really, really useful for when I'm designing something unique. So I really like this template. I'm going to click on this, and let's see. I actually really like the stock one, so I'm just going to customize this template. Wonderful. And then I'm going to replace this image with a Bitcoin image. So Canva gives us the ability to find free images that we can use without any sort of royalties. And I really like this one. I know it's free, so I'm going to grab it and I'm going to click and hold right above that image there. Boom. Easy. Okay. And I'm not a big fan of all this text and everything here, so I'm actually just going to remove all these. Yep. But I do like those backgrounds that they're doing, but I don't love the color, so maybe we can edit that image with, you know what, maybe we'll just replace this image. So let's go back to photos again, and let's do, what would be a good background here? We're just going to look for black in the backgrounds. And ooh, I really like that one. So we're just going to remove both of those, and we're going to right click on that background and hit set images background. Oh, I like how that looks. Okay, so now let's do a little bit of color work. Maybe we edit some of these to be a little bit of a different color. Or actually, you know what? I'm not even really in love with a lot of those, so we're just going to delete them. Okay, so I think that's actually a pretty good background. I'm going to move this up because I know Shopify might crop this in just a tad. So I'm going to move that up so it's about in the middle. Perfect. And I'm going to download it. I'm going to make sure it's in JPEG because unless you absolutely need to have a transparent background, JPEG is probably the best image format for websites. Remember, anything that is uploaded into the back end of your Shopify store has to be rendered by your website. So it's going to take up a certain amount of time for either your website to load or for the user to load your website with their data plan or with their internet connection. And the faster we can get our website to load, the better it's going to rank in SEO. So I just got that download here. And I'm going to hop back into my customizer, and I'm going to go into library and upload an image. I'm going to pause this for just 1 second. Okay, so I found that image, and boom, look at that. I just upgraded that, and it is now showing in my background. So I'm going to go ahead and hit select here, now that I got that one. Boom. Look at how good that looks. Now, just an important thing to note is that you do have an overlay that you can display on top of your background image. And that can make it really nice for white text to display a little bit easier, right? It worked really well on my last image. But for this image, I actually don't want this to be displayed here. So I am just going to move my text. Actually, we're going to leave it there. So we're going to click back on that image banner, and I'm going to have it display in middle left. Okay, and then we're also going to align our content to the left. Boom. All right, so that looks so much better. I've updated my background image, and so that's how you go about updating an image in Shopify. It's really, really easy. You just change the image right here in your right-hand section for the customizer. And that's going to be very, very similar for all of these other image styles as well. So let's say I wanted to change one of these images in the multi-column, right? So I'm just going to look for my multi-column section here. And be aware, they're not always going to be named the exact same thing. They'll be named whatever your header is called. But this one is going to be called multi-column. So, and I want to change this image. I don't like how this is showing a white background right here, right? So I'm going to go to that column and click on it where I see that image displayed. And I'm just going to click on this change drop down. And then let's see, what would I like to use here? Let's switch this to that beautiful picture of me. Actually, let's do that one. That one's a little bit nicer. and I'm going to change that and select it. And then if I hit save, now it'll display on my live site. So now, if we go back to my demo store and we refresh, boom, we'll see that those changes have been applied. Okay. I hope that helped you understand just how to make some changes to images. You can drag and drop things into that little image customizer upload section. So if I wanted to, I could grab something from my desktop and just drag it right into this upload section, and then I can use that. Other things that are important to note for uploading an image into Shopify is you don't really need to have an image that's much bigger than about 1080p. So most phones nowadays take an image that can be anywhere between 2000 pixels to 4K, right? And that's not super important for your website unless there's very specific detail that you need to have in order to display. Anything above 1080p is going to slow down your website, and it's not going to look that much better to most people. Remember, most people are going to be visiting your website from their mobile phone. And so do you really need 4,000 pixels to display in a square that's about the size of 3 inches? Probably not. Okay. That's about everything from me for this tutorial video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, leave a subscribe. Click the subscribe button, oh goodness, and hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.